Hello, friends. It's been a minute. It's been a long time since I've come in and done a video. A lot of stuff has been going on, child. My lips are dead dry. A lot of stuff has been going on, and I've been doing my artist thing and doing shows and whatnot, and I love creating. I love doing shows. I hope you guys can hear me really well, and I've just been able to create, which I haven't done in a long time. Facilitate. When I say facilitate, I'm trying to use these big fancy words here, but basically, I'm sitting down and saying, I want to do a show. I'm going to do a show. This is going to be in it. That's going to be in it. Let me put this together. Let me audition this person and putting on these shows. And it's been a blast. And I didn't forget that I said we were reading this book, Single is Your Superpower. And I said that I was going to use this book to basically keep myself on track, and I, have gone with the comments that you guys have been giving me, and we've been going off a little bit, but I did say I was going to continue from where I left off, because reading this, I went through this whole workbook, and I'll just show you. It's really good. I like to annotate different things, and so I'm going to come back to where I left off. A lot of things has happened in my single journey, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna stick to this, and if those things like stand out to me that I feel like I really have to come back in and say them, I will. And so I'm going to read a little bit from here, and from where we left off when we were using the book. And again, I encourage you to buy this book. It is by Case Kenny, and yeah, so Single is Your Superpower is the title on this page, and it says, while I can't tell you what decisions to make, I can give you some things to think about. And if there's anything I've learned over the past decade of dating, it's that the questions you ask yourself are the most important ingredient to finally getting it right. At the end of the day, I'm skipping along here. At the end of the day, all you can ask yourself is to make better decisions. All you can ask is to trust yourself, react quicker, and I double underline that. I'm going to come back to that. React quicker and be brutally honest with yourself and with others. I'm going to read a little further before I comment on that. Dating is always going to be somewhat complicated. And I told you guys what my definition of dating in my previous videos. I realized, and we talked about today, how guys have this stupid shit definition of what dating is. And so my definition, just to reiterate, of dating is when two people are seeing each other. Maybe they're meeting someplace, or maybe one is going to pick up the other person, and they're going out for maybe dinner, maybe they're going for a movie, they're hanging out, they're spending time with each other, getting to know each other in the hopes that they could possibly be compatible enough to have a relationship together, okay? So to me, even though you're not boyfriend and girlfriend, or you're not a couple, that's dating. And so that's my definition of dating. And I think that is the definition of dating that we're going to get from this book as well. So let me go back to where I left off. So all you can ask is to trust yourself, react quicker, and be brutally honest with yourself and others. Dating is always going to be somewhat complicated. Relationships are never going to be easy, but you can control the decisions you make as you go about finding your person. And the last thing that I'm going to read from this page, I think I'm going to read my annotation on the side, what I wrote on the side, and this last little piece here. If you arm yourself with insight into who you are and what you deserve, and you have the confidence to never lose sight of that, is very important. I circled that, so I'm definitely going to touch on that. You're going to be much happier and more patient as you date. And then on the side, I scribbled here, I put, don't let things linger so long. Nip that shit, excuse my language, in the bud, even when you like the person. Okay, so let's go back a little bit here. You know, for me personally, sometimes when I've been, and this has happened over the years, and it's been by choice. It hasn't been a situation where I mean, if I'm being realistic about it, it has never been a situation where I was kind of sitting back just like lonely, like nobody's looking at me, nobody wants to talk to me, nobody thinks I'm pretty, none of that stuff. Because I think throughout my life, if I can recall, there's always been someone or a few guys like trying to holler at me, trying to get to know me, that express their interest in me, in one way or another, that I wasn't interested in. And I'm not going to get into the reasons why or what have you, but by my own choice, I've decided that there was a certain type that I liked, and that I was going to sit down and wait for that type, because I felt, there were a lot of conclusions that I've come to over the years, and I felt like I just didn't want to settle for certain things. And that's another conversation, and I don't know if I'm going to get into it because I want to keep these videos kind of short, about 15 minutes or so, but less than 20. All right, so let's go and say, so when it's been, so therefore, there have been times when I have not dated a person for a long period of time, years even. Again, I'm 40, I turned 46. I think I turned 46 after I started these videos, maybe. I'm not even sure. But so, so I'm 46 now, and there have been periods of years where I decided consciously that I wasn't doing it. I wasn't, I was going to just be into whatever else I was doing in life, right? And just kind of just sat and chose to do nothing. And then there came a point where I felt like, okay, you know what? Someone came along, or I met someone, or maybe I was reintroduced to someone, and then I felt like, all right, you know what, let me see what's going on with this person. And things were going so well, and I kind of got comfortable and used to the feeling of, because I am heterosexual, I'm gonna say man, but if you're watching and you are not, it's whatever the person is that a couple, like you felt comfortable being with a person who you were physically attracted to. You might have been mentally attracted to them, whatever reason you felt comfortable being around that person, and you felt comfortable with the dating, and you felt that attention, that affection, that all that stuff that happens in the beginning, and you were like, and I became really comfortable with it, so much so that even though I had taken so much time to sit down and think about what it is that I want, what it is that I deserve, what it is that I've been settling for, even in therapy, just trying to pull out the whys, why I think certain things happened, why did I settle for this or that, or what boundaries are being crossed for me here or there. And I would notice things that I had maybe even specifically written down as a deal breaker. Like, for me personally, I know that we are in the texting age, and that's like a thing, but I'm old school, and I like to hear your voice, I like to hear your voice. So for me, if you are just a texter, like, yeah, for sure, you busy, we're busy, if you wanna do the text check-in, I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but on a regular basis, I'd like to hear your voice, whether it be in person or whether it be on the phone. And I found myself in many situations, settling for the texter. the habitual texter, the refusing to call texter, the refusing to pick up the phone texter, which, my friends, is a big red flag. But moving right along, knowing, I mean, if it's good for you and you're okay with that, I mean, that's, no, in no way, shape, or form am I telling you that it is bad for you personally, but I'm talking about personal expectations and personal boundaries, and personally what you would like, and what is your, what for yourself, and what you feel is your ideal relationship, because nothing is perfect, God, obviously, right? We get that. But for me, it creates some resentment. It creates some feelings there that are not, what's the word, I don't want to say cohesive, with some feelings that don't work with making a relationship work, let's put it that way. Okay. And I found that a lot of times, being that I choose to stay for long periods of time by myself, when I get with somebody, I kind of get comfortable, or I'm dating someone, I kind of get comfortable, and I start letting a lot of little things that I know are deal breakers slide, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, but if I put my foot down now, I'm not gonna have the benefit of hugging this person all the time, or whatever it is that you've gotten used to that you like about the person. You kind of like, oh, but he's cute, oh, but I like his voice, oh, but when you see him, oh, I like when I see him. And you start to ignore the little things from the get-go, from the very beginning, that shouldn't happen in the very beginning, and you start to ignore those little things, which are red flags. And then so basically, and then I guess you're just setting yourself up for a longer period of hurt, right? If it's happening right in the beginning, you're already upset, and then it's going on and on and on, and this thing is dragging along. That's a longer time that you're hurt, as opposed to it happening later on. So in this place where you're dating, and let's just face it, people, if you're not married, you're single. I'm gonna say it again. If you're not married, you're single. Okay? Now, I believe in monogamy. I'm a strong advocate for monogamy. Okay? And I believe in monogamous, committed relationships. But if you're not married, you're single. Moving right along. You want to be able to trust yourself, and you want to be able to react quicker. I think that the when we finally get the strength, and that for me personally, let me speak about me personally, I feel that when I finally get the strength, which I feel that I have been doing lately, I've been nipping things a lot quicker than I have in the past. So for me, I think that when I get to the point that I can, regardless of whether I like or how I feel about the person, I can feel like this is a deal breaker, these are deal breakers, and I'm walking away, even if there's no animosity or there's nothing really going wrong per se, and I can walk away and feel like I don't have any loss. Yeah, I take the hit. Yeah, I'm sad. I'm feeling disappointed. Back to the drawing board, whatever it is. But the quicker you are able to, and according to this book, and I agree with it, is why I'm doing the review or sharing this information. The quicker you're able to do it, the better, because people will start respecting you. And I'll give you a little story about that, and then I'm going to wrap that up. I was going to touch on something else from what I said here, but I'm not, because I don't want to make this video too long. So I moved to a different position in school. So now, as opposed to in my job, as opposed to having a classroom of students that I'm used to, that I see every day, that I'm molding with, that I'm building a strong connection with, because I am their homeroom teacher, or their full day teacher, or their most of the day teacher, like their second parent teacher. I work now with hundreds of kids, at least 100. It's more than 100. Let's just round it off to 100. 100 kids. So working with 100 kids as a specialty teacher, as a cluster teacher, however you want to call it, you see students that have a different homeroom teacher. So they develop that rapport, they develop that relationship, whatever type of relationship it may be. So you have all types of different behavior, different levels of respect. And so now these students are coming to me. It's almost like a free for all, as any cluster teacher, not just me specifically. And they come to you, and it's almost like I thought about it. And it's like the mindset of having an ongoing substitute teacher. Like, oh, this is not my teacher. I'm coming here. It's not my teacher, so I'm coming here, and this is my opportunity and my chance to clown and wow the hell out. And so, in that respect, I had to, for a while, it's like, oh my gosh, they're driving me crazy, and I'm accepting things that I shouldn't have accepted from the beginning. Because you have to build a routine, you have to have structure, and you got to stick to that. And if you say this is A and this is B, you got to stick to that. And this is A and this is B the whole year through. You don't wait, and you get to know them, and then it's like, I like this kid. All right, I know this is A, but it could be C today. I know this is B, but it could be D today. No, you stick to your guns. It's A, it's B, regardless, and that's how you gain the respect. And so for a little while here, even though the year just started, I kind of got off course with that. And I noticed the behaviors escalating all over again like they were in the beginning. And I had to come back and nip it in the bud, but pull it back and recognize and go back to the beginning. And it's difficult. It's difficult when you're telling someone no. It's difficult when you are holding strong to your boundaries, because you're gonna offend a lot of people. But that's a them problem. So you may offend a lot of people with your boundaries. And so now I'm seeing, little by little, I'm getting that cooperation back in the classroom that I developed in the beginning before I started letting the ball drop. And so in relationships, the quicker you nip it in the bud, the better, to move on to something else. Because if that's not for you and you already see it in the beginning, why would you waste more time getting to the end? So that's just more time for hurt, and just more a time that you're going to spend healing from something, as opposed to let it go. It was a short period of time. I'm going to hurt for a little while, move on, bounce back, and move on until you get to where you're supposed to go. Get to where you're supposed to go. All right. So I didn't think I was going to talk this long. It's 18 minutes, a little over 18 minutes, and I'm going to call it a day. So thank you guys. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for sticking in there with me, even though I haven't been leaving a lot of videos. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for caring. I wish you well in your singles journey. Like, subscribe, share, and love, peace, and hair grease.